But I guess I should feel honored at the fact that someone at his level would even acknowledge a comedian. You know, it feels good at least knowing that he knows who I am, which is nice. It at least makes me feel relevant. Because, you know, after 2019, I wasn't sure what was going to happen. Honestly, for me, I thought that 2019 was the best year I ever had in comedy. And the reason why I say this is because I was this close to hosting the Oscars. Yeah. Pretty sure I got a good chance next year. The year that I almost got to host, that was the year that Kevin Hart was supposed to host. And I don't know if you guys remember the story or not, but basically, Kevin Hart was supposed to host the Oscars. And anytime you host, the background check is next level, okay? They go through all of your social media, all the way back to MySpace. People over 40, you know what's up. Come to find out that 10 years ago, Kevin Hart had sent out a couple of tweets that were questionable. So the Academy confronted Kevin Hart about the tweets. And they said, Kevin, can you please explain? And Kevin was like, yes, I said those things. I acknowledged them 10 years ago. And I apologized 10 years ago. Can we move forward? And the Academy was like, well, good, Kevin. We're glad that you apologized because they've been brought to our attention again. And we need for this to go away. So we need you to apologize. And Kevin said, you can't make me apologize twice for the same thing 10 years apart. And they said, well, you have to, because if you don't, you cannot host the Oscars. And Kevin said, well, thank you, but no thank you. And he walked away from the job. I would have done the same thing in his position. Because by him apologizing, he gives more power to cancel culture, and we can't give him more. We got to take it back. So now the Academy was left with a problem, trying to find a suitable replacement for Kevin Hart, which is not an easy thing to do. So they reached out to a bunch of actors to see if there was interest, and everyone said the same thing. Thank you, but no thank you. We want no part of that Kevin Hart drama. No one wanted the job. Me, on the other hand. Oh, I recognize a job opening when I see one. So I had my manager call the Academy, and the Academy was thrilled to hear from anyone. They were like, Gabriel Iglesias, yes, we know who he is. He's very funny, very witty. We think he would make a good host for the Oscars. Please have him submit some comedy material so we can see what the vibe of the night would be. And based on the material, we'll make our choice. So that's what I did. I sat down one night, got a pen, piece of paper, wrote out a bunch of jokes, and I turned them into the Oscars. And I think that's why they said no. It never made it to TV. So tonight, I would like to do the opening joke that I was going to do for the Oscars. And then you can decide what the vibe of the night would have been. All right, let me do the voice. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Academy Awards. Here's tonight's host, comedian funny man, Gabriel Iglesias. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. It is an honor. Thank you. Thank you. It is an honor to be here tonight hosting the Oscars. In keeping with tradition, here is another Mexican doing a job nobody else wanted. And they passed. They passed. Yeah. You know, and then getting back into the swing of things, we have definitely come a long way from 2020. The fact that we're in a sold-out stadium, elbow to elbow, ready to laugh, have fun. We've come a long way. You know? 2020, you guys, I got to just thank my dogs. I got to thank my dogs because my dogs kept me sane. They kept me happy. They kept me focused. Because I was so depressed. I was sad. I didn't know what to make of things. Do we have any dog owners? Yeah? See, dog owners, you know what's up. No other animal in the world will give you 100% like a dog. What, cat? No. I'm sorry. No disrespect to cats or cat owners. But cat owners, you know as well as I do. Your cats, because I know you got more than one. Your cats look at you like you live in their house. You walk in, you try to scold them for something. And then when you try to talk to them, they turn their back on you and show you their butthole. And you're staring, you're like, oh my God, it's so dark. Only a dog will give you 100% of itself. That's why they get so sad when they know you're about to leave, and why they get so happy when you come home. You are literally everything they've been looking forward to. And now you're back! I know for a fact, nothing on this planet loves me more than my dogs. I said this last night and someone said, what about your son? I said, nothing loves me more. I could leave my dressing room for 1 minute or 1 hour. When I come back, the reaction is the same. It is the greatest moment ever, every single time. Oh yeah. My dog Vinny will jump off the couch and run towards me top speed. And then when he gets to me, he jumps up and down. And he makes a sound like a... You can almost hear, where were you? Where were you? Where were you? And he pees everywhere. I used to get upset that he would do that, but then I thought about it. My dog loves me so much, he cannot control his own bodily functions. That's why when I would go home, I would immediately pick him up before anything. And then my girlfriend would get mad. How come you don't come to me first? I said, because the dog loves me more. How do you know I don't love you more? I said, I don't see a puddle. Mira, dry. Yeah, she didn't like that. Sorry. But yeah, these dogs, man, let me tell you. And I apologize if I'm kind of stuttering or I'm not as focused right now. I have never been distracted by a blimp with my face on it. I'm sorry, Netflix, but shit, this... This is like a birthday and Christmas and the Super Bowl and the World Series and losing my virginity all at the same time. Even saw the lights of the Goodyear blimp. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm just so goddamn happy right now. Thank you. I wish my mom were here to see this. You have no idea. She would have been happy to see all of you, but she would have been like, no, chinga su madre, mira lo que mi hijo está en el cielo. Anda ya con Jesus in the sky, mira. That is amazing. Like I said, no matter what you say, no matter what you do, someone's going to find a way to twist things and make it bad. I've already gotten an email over the fact that I did that joke about that nothing on this planet loves me more than my dogs versus my son. Someone already reached out and they're like, oh my God, how devastating for your son. I'm like, he knows. I love him very much. My son is going on 25 years now. He's 24 years old. Frankie is 24 years old. Yeah, thank you for clapping. He's still at the house. I did an interview recently, and someone was asking me questions about my son. They said, Gabriel, you've always mentioned your son in your specials. Can we look forward to a new story coming out? And I said, not really a new story so much as, because my son is doing his own thing now. He's doing his own thing. He's got his own life, and that's awesome. I do, however, still have stories from the past that I never told. And he goes, well, do tell. I said, okay, my favorite story is actually probably the first one. In 2007, when I first got him, some of you know he's technically my stepson, but I've never liked saying stepson. He is my son. Yeah. He is my son or my aftermarket child. No gray area. Anyway, it's 2007, and for some reason, I'm home on Halloween. Now, here's the thing. As a comedian, I have signed up to perform 365 days a year. There is no sacred day for me. I work on Christmas Day. I work on New Year's Eve, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, birthdays, holidays, special occasions, no matter what. My mom told me, si hay trabajo, hay que trabajar. You got to work. Especially if you got a good job, you don't want no one to take it. So if you're going to go for it, give it everything. So the fact that I'm not working on Halloween is super rare. And so my son's mom is like, she's like, I think this is so cool that you're home today. Since this is Frankie's first year where it's just the three of us, how about this? How about tonight, you take him trick-or-treating and I'll stay home and give out candy. This way, it'll give the two of you an opportunity to get to know each other, have some conversations, have some laughs. What do you think? I said, baby, you know what? That's a great idea. I love it. I love it. Okay, I'm on it. Frankie, come on. We're going trick-or-treating. What about my mom? She's going to stay home. Yay. So we get in the car. And I take Frankie to that neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? That neighborhood that gives out the Costco candies? Yeah. So we park the car and we start going up the street. And I'm not wearing a costume. I'm there for him. So he's dressed up for your Halloween. I'm just me. So some of the doors we knocked on, the people freaked out. One guy was like, the Fluffy. I'm like, oh my God, I've never been referred to as the Fluffy. I didn't know what to say. It is I. One door we knocked on, they opened the door, they're like, oh my God, you're famous. I was like, ah. We go all the way up, we cross the street, we come all the way back. By the time we get to the car, the bucket is overflowing with candy. Okay? So we get back to the house, and it hasn't even been an hour. We walk in, and Frankie's mom is pissed. She's like, the hell is this? I go, what? I thought I told you to take him trick-or-treating. I go, I did. Look, show the score. The whole point of you taking him trick-or-treating wasn't to get candy. The hell you say? What was the point? The point was for the two of you to spend time together, have some laughs, have some conversations, get to know one another. You're not going to do that in an hour. Can you please, for me, take them out one more time for at least an hour? Baby, I get it. Don't even worry about it. I got it. So I said, Frankie, come on. Dump out your bucket.
Round two.
So we go outside, we get in the car. I don't want to go door to door again. So I said, I got an idea. I take Frankie to Walmart. We get to Walmart, and Frankie goes, what are we doing here? I got it, watch. We walk in. I said, grab a cart. Follow me. And I lead Frankie all the way to the candy section. Well, as soon as we get to the candy section, I stop the cart. And I got in Frankie's face, and I said, Frankie, you have exactly 30 seconds to grab as much candy as you can. Ready? Go! And he froze. I said, dude, clock's ticking. You better move. Oh, my God, oh, my God, oh, my God. So he grabs a bag, looks at it, throws it in the cart. Grabs a second bag, looks at it, throws it in the cart. Grabs a third bag, and on the third bag, time! And it was the first time I heard him go, shit! Because he knew he wasted that golden opportunity those first few seconds. So we get to the car, I rip open the 3 bags, I dump them out in his bucket, and I tell him, look, Frankie, when we get home, you cannot tell your mom that we went to Walmart. Why not? Because she's going to say that we cheated trick-or-treating. But it's better. I know it's better. So we get home, and of course now it's a different tone. She's like, there you are. Did you guys have a good time? We had a great time, baby. We had a good time, huh, Frankie? That's good. Frankie, give me your candy. Why, Mom? Because I need to go through your candy to make sure it's safe for you to eat. Why wouldn't it be safe? It all came from... Cállate, pendejo. Cállate. Cállate, cabrón. Cállate. He almost took down the empire, you know what I'm saying? So he hands over the bucket, and she grabs it and immediately dumps it out on the table right in front of us. She notices, you know. There's a lot of the same candy right here. A lot of the same candy. Can you explain why there's so much of the same candy in Frankie's bucket? I don't know what to tell you, baby. There's a lot of basic bitches in this neighborhood, you know, just kind of, I don't know. We can't go back to that other neighborhood because they got cameras and they're going to know us, and we don't want to be that person. Nobody wants to be that. So fast forward 1 year. It is now October 31st of 2008, and for some reason, I'm not booked on Halloween again. And so my girl's like, she swears up and down, oh, it's a sign. It's a sign. I'm like, it's a sign my agent is slacking. Shout out, Matt. I know you're here. Sorry about that joke. You're doing a great job. Thank you for this one. I know, but that year you dropped the ball. So, but anyway. And so Frankie's mom is like, I think that, you know what? Maybe, just maybe we can make this like a tradition. You know, this could be your guys' thing. The two of you go out trick-or-treating, and then I'll stay home and give out candy. This could be your thing. I go, you know what, baby? Sounds good to me. Frankie, come on, we're going trick-or-treating. What about my mom? She's going to stay home again. Yay. So we get outside, we get in the car. I lean over and I look at Frankie and I said, Frankie, are you thinking what I'm thinking? Walmart. We pull up to Walmart. We walk in. I said, Frankie, grab a cart. Follow me. And I lead him all the way to the candy section. As soon as we get to the candy section, I stop the cart and I get in his face. I said, Frankie, you have exactly 30 seconds to grab as much candy as you can. Ready? Go! Apparently, this motherfucker was training all year for this. As soon as I said, go, his arm, bam, and he starts gutting the shelf. He's ripping bags of candy into the cart. He overflowed the shopping cart in 10 seconds. I firmly believe that's the first day of my diabetes. The fact that I got to meet Snoop was awesome. He looked for me. But every now and then I go out and I wanna meet people. I wanna see cool things. And for example, comedy. I'm a huge fan of comedy, not just performing it, but I love going to shows. I go to a comedy show every now and then alone. Now, I don't know if that sounds weird to you guys, but for me to do anything nowadays by myself, It's my crew, all the people that work for me, they freak out when I go places because they're always concerned for my safety. You know, what if someone tries to kidnap you? Well, they're gonna earn it. I got into a fight with some of my team members and I said, you know what, I'm going out. I bought myself a ticket and I went to go watch Chris Rock one night in concert. Now, I says, you know what? Maybe I can make my way backstage and, I don't know, if I get lucky, maybe I'll say hi to him. I've always wanted to meet him. So I go to the side of the stage and I run into security. And I said, hey. He looked at me and said, Fluffy! And when he did that, I said, hey, listen, I forgot my keys. I'll be right back. And the guy's like, yeah, keep going. Get your keys, get your keys, get your keys. I'm like, oh my God, that shit worked. Just like that, I snuck backstage at a Chris Rock concert. Once I was behind the curtain, I was in my element. I knew where everything was. I knew where the food was. I knew where the dressing rooms were, where the bathrooms were. I'm walking around with a soda. People are coming up to me. You know, we didn't know you were gonna be here. I got a call last minute. Looking for my keys. I says, you know what? I got this far. I'm gonna push it. I wanna meet him. I've always wanted to meet Chris Rock. It was not hard. Once I was back there, I just had to go to the dressing rooms. All I had to do was read the name on the door. I'm standing there in front of the door and I'm hyperventilating. Just the door opens up and there's this man in there, this bodyguard who's just massive. I'm a big guy, but damn, dude was huge. As soon as he opened the door, just welcome to Jurassic. Big! Grandote! And I'm standing there and I'm like, hi. And he's like, can I help you? Yes, my name is Gabriel. I'm a comedian. And I wanted to see if I could say hi to Chris Rock, if that's possible. You say you're a comedian? Yes. Well, then you understand Chris is going over his material right now. He really ain't trying to talk to nobody. So I'll tell you what, player, if you want to come by after the show, you're more than welcome to. But right now, it's not a good time. Chris Rock is a busy man. Can I wave? Excuse me? Can I wave? What you mean? Can I wave at Chris? I don't have to come in. Can I wave? Chris Rock is in the room. He can hear the stupid conversation that's taking place. I know this because I can hear Chris Rock in the background. What's going on? Who's at the door? Move out the way. Yo, Chris, I got this, man. I got this. Move! All right. And the guy stands to the side, and now I'm looking at Chris Rock. And he recognized me. And it freaked me out. Oh yeah, it freaked me out. He's like, ah, shit. Look who it is. Look who it is. It's the king of the Mexicans. Chris Rock called me the king of the Mexicans. For the rest of the show, everyone referred to me as El Chapo. I was celebrating the fact that I got away with that for so long. For so long. I snuck backstage at Chris Rock. I snuck backstage. I snuck. Until karma showed up one day. In the form of the most extreme fan I have ever had in 20 years of me being a comedian. I had someone who not only made it backstage, this person paid to get into my dressing room. Okay? Yeah, he didn't pay me, by the way. He didn't pay me. I'm an honest hoe. Okay? I made no money that day, all right? Yeah, if I would have gotten paid, you wouldn't be hearing this story. Here's the thing. I walk into my dressing room from the bathroom. I just finished showering up and I'm in a towel. I walk into the room Come to find out later that this man was a very wealthy businessman in the community, okay? And when I walked into the room, he's wearing a very, very nice suit. So when I saw the suit, I didn't give it a second thought because he looked professional. I thought maybe he was the general manager of the building, one of the concert promoters. He could have been someone's agent. So when I walked in the room, I'm like, Tao, can I help you? He looks at me, and it was the most uncomfortable conversation I have ever had. He looks at me and says, listen. I am not here to waste any of your time. Fluffy, I am prepared to take care of you. I will give you a new Lexus and an allowance that's more than what you make as a comedian. Leave with me. I was never more disgusted and offended at the fact that I was not gay. Because finally, somebody wants to take care of me. Do you know how many people I take care of? No one's ever offered me a Lexus, and they should. I felt horrible saying no to this guy. I still think about it. I still have the number. Houston, I'm gonna tell you something, and I don't know how this is gonna go over, but I'm gonna say it. I would be an amazing gay partner. I would, all the way up until that one part, but even then. Have you ever driven a Lexus? Those are nice. Sometimes you gotta take one for your own team. I'm just saying. But again, I understand that some people need to be held accountable for certain actions. I just feel like a lot of times a simple conversation can fix things. I know that based on today's rules, I can be canceled right now for previous comedy specials that I've done over the years. And I understand that, so I'm just waiting for the call. I know I can be canceled for previous comedy specials. And I know they probably expect me to apologize, but I would never apologize for my previous work because you know what? It was perfectly acceptable at the time. Clearly, there are things I would change now, but at the time, no, there's no way to go back and apologize for that when everything was okay. I want to let you all know right now that there are things about me that you don't know that you're going to find out sooner than later. So basically what I'm trying to do at this moment is do what my lawyer said and get ahead of it. I offended someone whose name I should have never brought up. I offended a professional fighter. His name is Canelo. I know, go big or go home. If you are not familiar with who Canelo is, give me a few seconds to explain. Canelo is arguably one of the best fighters in the world. Okay? You cannot miss him. He is in fact Mexican, but he does not look traditional. Canelo is in fact the whitest Mexican on earth. He's super white. He's so white, he's redhead. Canelo is a red-headed white Mexican fighter. He is so white, even Donald Trump was like, you can come. Super white. But then he opens his mouth and you realize, oh, Canelo,
He's not local.
So here's how I got in trouble. A comedy friend of mine by the name of Ron White reached out to me. And Ron White invited me to be part of his Tribute to the Troops comedy show for the Nashville Network. And I told Ron, I said, Ron, I'd love to do the show. Anything for the troops, let's do this. So the show taped in Vegas. And it's a couple other comics plus myself, and Ron White's the host. He brings me up on stage, and I figure I'm only doing 10 minutes, okay? I might as well just do references to Las Vegas since everybody knows Vegas. So I started talking about boxing. And then I brought up Canelo. And here's where I got in trouble. I said, Canelo is my favorite fighter of all time. I just wish... And it was all downhill after that. I said, I just wish he would not do interviews in English because English is not his strong language. And if you're a professional fighter, hear me out. If you're a professional fighter, you need to sound confident, engaged, threatening, aggressive, on point, in your face. And in Spanish, he does. In English, not so much. In Spanish, he's a killer. In Spanish, the reporter, the announcer comes out. Aquí estamos con Canelo Álvarez que se va a pelear contra Floyd Money Mayweather este fin de semana en pay-per-view en el MGM Grand en Las Vegas, Nevada. I know some of you heard that right now and you're like, oh my God, I think I understand Spanish. Because you do. So then the reporter will look at Canelo and ask him about the fight. Canelo, ¿qué vas a hacer en tu pelea? Canelo takes the microphone. He's a man of few words, but he's on point. He looks at the camera and he's like, pues mira, lo voy a pegar así, va a pegar el piso. Shas. Así mero, no se lo pierde ese fin de semana en el MGM Grand, Las Vegas, Nevada. Canelo Álvarez contra Floyd Money Mayweather. No se lo pierda. Same exact interview. English. I'm standing here alongside Mexican superstar Saul Canelo Alvarez, who's going to be facing Floyd Money Mayweather this weekend on pay-per-view. Canelo, what is your strategy and your plan of attack going into this weekend's fight against such a technical opponent, if you will? A man who has single-handedly redefined the sport of boxing. What is your plan of attack going into the fight?
Well, I
am going to hit him like this. I'm going to hit him like this. He's going to fall on the, ¿cómo se dice piso, güey? Floor. He's going to fall to the floor and then tan tan, así. All right, well, there you have it. Floyd Mayweather, I hope you are ready, my friend, because, yeah, that's what's waiting for you. Reporting live for ESPN News, I'm Phil Stevens. Back to you in the studio, and we're out. The hell was that, goddammit? Why did you warn me? So word gets back to Team Canelo about the joke that I did. I find out because I have friends in the boxing community who reached out to tell me, bro, what happened? I said, what are you talking about? Dude, we heard. Heard what? We heard that Team Canelo's pissed. I said, so what does that have to do with me? Well, I guess it's about a joke you did about Canelo. Huh? Who showed him? If I would have known one of the best fighters in the world was going to see me do a joke about him, I would have never done a joke about him. I didn't think he'd ever see Ron White's Tribute to the Troops comedy show on the Nashville Network. I didn't think he was ever going to see it. Shit was in English. Now I'm worried about the confrontation because I know it's only a matter of time. And I know where he's going to confront me. It's going to happen in Vegas. And the reason why I'm so confident that it's going to happen there is because when I perform in Vegas, I perform for MGM Grand Properties. And so I get free tickets to the fights. And I always go because it's free. And they put me ringside so that my face comes out on the Jumbotron to help me sell tickets. And so I know, because I've seen Canelo at fights before ringside. I've never spoken to him, but I know that's where it's going to happen. And I'm nervous about this confrontation because I don't know if he's going to confront me in English or Spanish. I hope it's in Spanish because I want to feel the fear. You know what I'm saying? I hope, he's like, Te voy a matar, pinche gordo! I'm just worried he might, Hey, Joe, fat bitch mother fluffy. The difference between Snoop's show versus any other talk show I've ever done is that usually there's a person, like a producer or a director, who comes to you and gives you information, like how the show begins, topics you're gonna cover, how you go to commercial, how you come back from commercial. I've spoken to no one. Snoop just starts talking, and at some point, they hit record. I'm waiting for action or a buzzer and something. Snoop just starts talking to me. Yo, what up, Big Fluff? Big Fluff? Oh, that's hey. Yo, you like music? Snoop, I love music. I love your music. Yeah, that's what's up. He opens up a laptop computer and then he hits play. And the next thing I know, we are listening to hardcore Mexican banda music. I mean hardcore. And you can hear gunshots in the song. And then a cow. And the whole time Snoop is like, I love it when he go moo. I feel like he's messing with me because I'm Mexican, right? So I called him out. I said, Snoop, do you understand what you're listening to? And he said this, and it scared me. He said, gangster recognize gangster. The reason why it scared me was because he was telling the truth. We were listening to actual Mexican cartel songs that don't play on the radio. And the fact that he knew that, the fact that his level of street knowledge in another language was that on point, I said, I gotta shut the hell up. Don't speak unless spoken to, that's the code. Next thing I know, Snoop reaches under the desk and he pulls out the biggest blunt I have ever seen. Oh, this sucker was huge. As soon as he pulled out that freaking blunt, I got excited because I wanted to grab my cell phone, okay? I wanted to grab my cell phone so that I could take a selfie of Snoop in the background being Snoop. So while I'm fumbling, trying to get my phone, Snoop starts talking to me again. Yo, Big Fluff. Yeah, what? Hit that while I hit this. The second I went like that, all of the cameras in the room, red light, red light, red light, red light, red light. My publicist is like, no! My son is like, yeah! And now I'm being faced with a serious situation because, I've talked about friends participating in doing stuff like this, but I've never openly talked about myself, And now I realize that from this moment forward, people are gonna know what happened here with Snoop. So I started trying to find ways to justify it to myself. If you're gonna do something like this on camera, you want it to be with Snoop. You want it to be with Snoop, Cheech and Chong, or Willie Nelson. Next thing I know, the manager hands me a lighter, I light it, and I take a big hit. So listen, I'm doing my best to hold in all this smoke because I don't want to look like a punk in front of Snoop Dogg. I'm trying, I'm fighting, bro. It's hard, The whole time Snoop is like, hell yeah. That's what I'm saying. Fluffy going puffy today. I do not remember the rest of the interview. What I remember is my buddy Anthony telling Snoop Dogg and I to stand up for a picture. Stand up, get up for a picture. And so Snoop and I both stand up to take this picture. I put my arm around him. I have to put my arm around him because he's much taller than me, okay? Snoop has me by at least 5 inches. Shut up, are you? You guys are laughing at the wrong jokes. Bow wow. Yeah. Everybody's like, this is a family show. Well, apparently that's how families are made. That was too funny, sir. That was too funny. It's sad how hard she laughed at that as she looked right at you. I said, Snoop has me by at least 5 inches. And she's like, ah! Almost like she wasn't even laughing at me. She was like laughing at you. So apparently you guys have some story that I just reignited and now it's awkward for all the kids. So anyway, Snoop and I are taking photos and then I could hear my son, Dad, Snoop, can my son take a photo with you? Yeah. Get over here. And so Frankie runs up, you guys, and he's so cute because he's geeking out really hard. He's like, Snoop, this is my son Frankie. Frankie, say hello to Snoop. And Snoop looks at me and he's so cool. Snoop is like, yo, this your kid? What up, baby fluff? And Frankie's like, I don't like that name. That's too bad. Get a job. Go. So Snoop and Frankie go into the corner to take pictures. Meanwhile, I walk back over to the desk because I want to grab the sheet that has Snoop's name and my name on it. I want to have Snoop autograph it so that I can frame it and put it on my wall. While I'm doing that, Frankie walks up from behind me and he whispers in my ear, right? He's trying to be all cool. Dad. Huh? What? Dad, would it be okay if I finish smoking that with Snoop? Now I am being faced with the biggest moral decision of my life. And I'm high. And my mind is racing 1,000 miles an hour. I'm like, should I let him? Should I not let him? Am I a good dad? Am I a bad dad? What's his mom gonna think? I need a Snickers. And then I thought about it. You know, Frankie, you're over 18. Technically, you don't have to ask me if you don't want to. So as far as I'm concerned, where'd you go? A minute later, I am recording my son in a cloud with Snoop Dogg. And then I sent the video to his mom. Hashtag biscuit blocker, yes I did. Now, did this actually happen? Yes, it did. You can go online and watch the video on YouTube, punch in Snoop Dogg. Next to that, put Fluffy or Gabriel, and you can see the whole thing. Let me know how it turns out. The fact that I got to meet Snoop was awesome. He looked for me. Out of all the countries I performed in, my favorite country outside of home is Australia. And I'll tell you why. Australia, much like us in America, has its list of priorities. You know what's not on their list? Political correctness. They do not care about your feelings. It's like a country full of Daves. Believe it or not, it's very refreshing to be around such a large group of people who speak their minds so freely. And if you know that before you go there, you're gonna have an amazing time. But if you don't know that and you show up, it is a culture shock and a half, because I showed up and I didn't know. Everybody says you gotta see the beaches, and I went to the beach. I had people coming up to me. Hey, somebody help me get him back in the water. Yeah, look at right there, big fella. Look at you right there. Oh, look, he's moving. Oh, he's crying. I bet it tastes like gravy. It's not bullying if everyone does it. Yeah, that being said, I'm in Australia, Sydney, Australia, at the Opera House. For me, it was one of the most iconic places I've ever got to perform in. It was bucket list, definitely. After the show, I wanted to go hang out with some Aussies and see what that was like. I'm hanging out at a pub. First things first, Australian people do not drink Foster's beer. That's an American thing. They don't drink that over there. I tried ordering one to fit in, didn't go over well. Bartender looked at me. Hey, you like the taste of piss, do ya? Okay, don't order that again. So I'm hanging out with these two Aussies, and we're drinking a rum called Bundaberg. At first glance, it looks like a Coca-Cola bottle because there's a polar bear on the front. And then you drink it, and you're like, that's not Coke. As we're talking, a third Australian joined the conversation. And he sounded a little bit different from the other two. He had more of a raspy voice. More like, all right, yeah, mate, yeah, all right. He sounded like a drunk pirate underwater. These two guys didn't like him, so they called him a name and they left. And now it's just me and drunk pirate. We're talking about life. Life in America, life in Australia, talking about our differences. He tells me that he's a professional knife maker. He's showing me how it's done. He's showing me pictures. We wind up polishing off 3 bottles of this rum. And drunk wasn't even the right word to describe our level. My tour manager, Ryan, he comes up to me and he says, Gabe, time to go. And I look at Ryan and I'm like, but Ryan, I just made a friend and he makes knives and they're pretty. My tour manager always knows how to talk to me no matter what condition I'm in. If I'm drunk, he knows better than to talk to me like I'm an adult. He talks to me like I'm 2. He looks at me and he says, hey, buddy. You hungry? Well, listen, if we don't leave right now, they're gonna close McDonald's and you're gonna have to eat at the airport. I gotta go. Oh, Mom, you gotta go, no worries. And he goes to shake my hand. And when he shook my hand, he put his personal pocket knife that he made in my hand as a gift. That's for you, Mike. Thanks for being nice. Thank you. Thank you. I'm gonna cut cheeseburgers with this. Martin and I just got back from India. Yeah. So let me tell you, I started posting on Facebook and Twitter that we were gonna go out there to do these shows. And then people started sending me messages, questioning what I was gonna do. First of all, are they gonna understand you in India? Will they understand English okay? Will they be able to follow along with your stories? Once we got there, I come to find out that more people speak English in India than in all of the US and Canada put together. Might as well throw Mexico in there for extra credit. Because there's that many people, and yes, they have the internet. They got the internet, they got Bollywood, they got Hollywood. They understand American culture so much more than we understand theirs. Second thing, people tried to warn me about going over there. Gabriel, be careful. India is a third world country. Don't drink the water in India. It contains parasites that'll make you really sick. Don't eat the food from the street people, especially the street meat. It contains a parasite that'll make you really sick. And most importantly, there's a lot of crime over there. Don't stay out late. When the sun goes down, you go down. I'm like, is it that bad? Parasites. So I'm like, let me get this straight. There's a lot of crime. Don't stay out late. Don't eat any of the food from the street vendors. And don't drink the water. Why does that sound familiar? That's Mexico. When Martin and I got over there, we found out that Indian people and Mexican people have so much in common, you guys. I'm telling you, it's insane how similar we are, especially the food. The food is so similar. For example, Mexicans love tortillas. Indian people love naan bread, which is a fluffier form of a tortilla. Mexicans love chicken. Indians love chicken. Mexicans love hot and spicy. Indians invented hot and spicy. Most popular drink in Mexico is Fanta. Most popular drink in India is Fanta. Indian people worship cows. Mexicans love barbecues. A lot of similarities. Most of the people that I met over there were very hardworking and humble. And I gotta tell you, every time I talked to someone, I was always greeted the same way. They'd look at me, they'd put their hands together, they'd do a little bow, and they say, Namaste, which is an endearing hello. It's really nice and sweet. And then I noticed that Indian people, when you're talking to them, do this thing with their head, where it will begin to move side to side as they're speaking. Now, at first when you notice it, you think, oh, he slept wrong. He just got a kink in his neck. Get a Tempur-Pedic. Now, when they start speaking, their head starts moving. And I noticed this. The guy is checking us into the hotel, and he's really cool. He's like, listen, if you have any problems at all, okay, you call the front desk, you press 0. We will send somebody to your room to help you. Whatever you need, we got it for you right here, okay? It's very good. Now, one thing I notice is the more they talk and the more excited Indian people get, the more the head starts to move around. Somebody at the hotel yelled out to the clerk, that's Fluffy. And the guy was like, oh my God, I don't believe it. I can do it. I thought it was you. I thought it was you. Oh my God, I cannot believe it. This is so crazy. Oh my God, Fluffy, Fluffy, Fluffy. Even crazier than that is that the mouth is actually connected to the neck. When the mouth stops moving, the head stops wherever the mouth left off. And when you see Indian people talking to each other, you can see it. Okay, let me tell you something. Okay, okay, hold on, wait, hold on, wait, okay. Like if you're Indian and you stutter, you are so screwed. Somebody stop him! I'm not gonna lie, you guys. When I first saw this happen, I thought it was hysterical. I thought it was funny. But then I started thinking about it. Head movement is just a form of expression. No matter where you live in this world, people express themselves in their own unique way, whether through facial expressions, hand gestures, body movement, extra words. Everywhere you go, things are different, and that's just how they express themselves in India. Now, back to the whole Indians-Mexican thing. That is something else that we share in common with Indian people. Head movement. Now, some of you in the building tonight are like, stupid, we don't have head movement. Yes, we do. It's a little different. See, with Indian people, the head movement is side to side. Mexicans, our head movement is front to back. The difference between that is that with Mexicans, we have to be very, very upset in order for you to see the head movement. Otherwise, you can't tell. With Indians, it's all the time. Oh, today is such a nice day. It is such a beautiful day today. I'm so happy. It's very nice, very good. Oh my God, I can't believe it's so nice. It's such a pretty. Mexicans, when we're mad, that's when it comes out. For non-Latinos, hey, trust me, you cut off a Mexican in traffic, see what happens. ¡Sácate, pendejo! ¡Lárgate, cabrón! ¡Quítate, desgraciado! That's funny. I don't know why the black people are laughing. You guys take it all. Oh, no, you didn't. Oh, hell no. I know he ain't talking about me. I hit a bell. I hit a bell. I made myself dizzy doing it. So let me tell you guys, if you ever get the opportunity to travel to India, I encourage you to check it out. You are gonna see some beautiful things. You are gonna see some amazing things. You are gonna see some sad, depressing things and some real horrible things. Overall, it's a well-balanced trip. But when you get back home here to the United States, you will have a whole different appreciation for your life. Believe that. I guarantee this, you guys. There's a lot of people in India, and with a lot of people comes a lot of traffic. First things first, American traffic and Indian traffic, very different. Here, whatever happens on the freeway will stop the whole freeway. In India, there's 10 times the traffic, but it moves. See, the problem is Americans, we're fascinated by accidents. We're fascinated by the idea of seeing potential death. That's why we slow down on the freeways. We say we don't want to see it, but what happens in traffic? You know, what's going on over there? There doesn't even have to be a collision. You could be on the 101 freeway and a car has a tire blowout and it spins. Doesn't hit anything. It's now facing oncoming traffic. You know what happens to the rest of the freeway? Even on the other freeway where there's no accident. And again, what's going on? What's going on? I'm sorry, hey, somebody might be dead. Sorry. In India, if there's an accident in the middle of the street, you know what they do? They drive right around it. They don't stop. And it's not that they're not sensitive to the situation. They are. It's just that there's so much chaos that happens on a regular basis. They just need to get to work. They do see what's happening. And believe me, they're heartfelt. You know, they'll drive around. I'm so sorry for you. Nothing stops the flow of traffic in India. They need to get from point A to point B. And so they go. If there's an accident, they drive around. If there's something blocking the street, they get on the sidewalk to go around. It's amazing the way they drive. And here's something else. No one uses turn signals over there. No one uses turn signals. They use a horn. Now, if you go to India tomorrow, from the time you get there to the time you leave, you're constantly going to hear a horn. It's an actual language when people are driving. I'll show you. You're driving? Car on your right. Car on your left. Light up ahead. They talk to each other while they're driving, and they barely miss each other every single time. Also, you'll be on the 101 freeway here, and there'll be 6 lanes. In India, you'll see 6 lanes, but guess what? You'll see 12 cars across. Yes, they have lines, but they're basically there to let you know more or less the direction you might want to go in. They're this close to each other. And even at the light, they communicate. You see everything. Cars, trucks, vans, motorcycles, pedestrians, cows, children, all waiting for the light. And they talk at the light with the horn. Very good, you can go, you can go. Welcome, you're welcome, go, go. Nothing stops the flow of traffic over there. Indian people drive. Think of ants. You know how ants travel in a straight line? And if there's something in their way like a rock, ants will split up, go around the rock and reunite, or climb over the rock. Worst case scenario, they dig a hole and go under the rock. That's the mentality of driving in India. A man can get shot in the middle of the street. People just look at each other. Somebody pick him up. And they'll drag his ass onto the sidewalk. And if there's an accident and they need to get around, guess what's gonna happen to that guy on the sidewalk? Nothing stops the flow of traffic in India except a cow. Now, I know we've always heard the stories and the jokes about, oh, Indian people don't eat hamburgers. I asked the question and I found out. It's believed that cows are people who have died and they've been reincarnated and their new life is now the cow, which is why they don't eat them and why they give them all the love and respect in the world over there. I saw this firsthand. There's a cow crossing the street while we're driving. And the cows know. They're cocky. They know that they can cross. Again, all the and the cows out there all cocky. Gling, 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 gling. No one honks at the cows. No one yells at the cows. No one touches the cows. They wait for the cows to finish crossing. The cow that we had laid down. The driver just shut off the car. Started tweeting. There is a cow in the middle of the street. Hashtag Momo. I asked the driver, what's going on? Sir, there is a cow. I see that there's a cow. Are you gonna honk at it, go around? What's gonna happen? We cannot honk at the cow. We must wait for the cow to move. You're kidding. I am not kidding. We must wait for the cow. We drove past a dead body 15 minutes ago. That is probably him. Like seriously, the driving situation over there is so intense, you guys. One morning while we're there, I needed to get to the airport fast because I overslept. And so I get in the cab and I hand the driver a $50 bill. And I go, sir, I am running very late. I need to get to the airport as soon as possible. Whatever side street you have to take or back road, I'm all for it. Whatever you have to do, let's do it. And I hand him the money and he goes, very good, let's go. And we take off. The guy is hitting anywhere from 50 to 70 miles an hour on the street. We are making incredible time. I notice that we're heading in the direction of a red light. You ever been in a car with someone and you're paying attention to what's going on and you notice that you're about to hit a red light and you know how you start to mentally and physically prepare yourself for the deceleration of the car, and you start anticipating the pressure from the brake, and if you don't get the sensation of slowing down by a certain point, all alarms go off in your head and you sock the driver in the chest. Not only did I not get the sensation of slowing down, I got the opposite. He gunned it towards the light. And it caught me off guard. I couldn't even scream. I was like, and then I got air. Hey, pull over, pull over. He didn't even know what he did. He looks at me, he goes, what is wrong? What do you mean, what is wrong? Dude, didn't you see the red light? As calm as can be. Didn't you see there was no one there?